Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Webtoon related video. Thank you so much for the support on my recent reaction videos. They've been doing super good and my subs are rising, man. We're growing at an astronomical rate. Anyway, we first got Tower of God. It kicked off the Webtoon Anime era. We got and are currently still getting God of High School, which is currently the anime with the most hype in 2020, I believe. And now there is a third Webtoon anime coming out this fall 2020 called Noblesse, and that is the topic of this video. So I started reading this manhwa a while back, and I'm just going to give quick thoughts on what I think about the webtoon and basically how I see the anime adaptation moving forward and how good I think it's going to be, and just quick stuff like that. Not many people are talking about Noblesse this year just because Tower of God and God of High School have much bigger followings than Noblesse, and so Noblesse is a little bit underrated in my opinion. And of course, God of High School is taking all the hype right now, so no one really is looking forward to Noblesse. They're just looking forward to the next episode of God of High School. But Noblesse is actually a very good webtoon. So when I first saw the cover, I definitely sort of judged it. And I was thinking like, yo, this looks extremely edgy. What is it, like some kind of vampire thing, man? Like, I don't know. At first, I was kind of turned off by it. But then I decided to check it out, and it turned out being a lot funnier than I anticipated. And it was just a really good read. And I actually haven't finished. There's a lot of chapters, but so far, I'm liking it a lot. A quick synopsis from the Crunchyroll website. In Noblesse, a non-human protagonist with special powers fights mysterious organizations and nations in the modern day. The epic scale of the events and non-stop plot turns will have you gripped. And the ordinary lives of the protagonist, Raizel, and his companion, Frankenstein, among other characters, is another one of its charms. And yeah, that's a really good way to put it. So it takes place in the modern setting, but a lot of the characters are kind of ancient and sort of from another dimension kind of thing. Lots of cool fantasy elements, but really I think what makes the webtoon enjoyable and sort of different from the other stereotypical fantasy webtoons is sort of the humor that you get from the interactions between the characters. Dialogue was super funny, and then I went back and read it in Korean, and it's actually even funnier in Korean, but even the translated version is pretty funny. The main character, Raizel, because he is sort of out of date with the modern era that's in the webtoon, there's so many funny interactions that happen, but also there's lots of misunderstandings that happen. And overall, it just ends up being super funny. And what I hope they really keep in the anime is this one sort of art style that the artist does when there's sort of like a shadow over their faces, when there's an awkward moment. I don't know. I just find those little things really funny. And I just hope that in the anime adaptation, they keep all that art style going. So now I'm just going to rattle off some quick facts about the manhwa itself. Number one, it is the only webtoon out of the 3 webtoon animes this year that is actually based off of a completed manhwa. So as you guys might know, Tower of God and God of High School are still coming out with chapters weekly, sort of like a One Piece kind of vibe. Yeah, they've been going at it for like, I think, Tower of God, I feel like it's been 6 years. God of High School, maybe 5 to 7. But Noblesse actually ended in 2019. In this article, Sun Jae-ho, who was the author, said that it took 11 years to complete this project, Noblesse. So yeah, it is completed after I think around 600 chapters or so. Dedicating yourself to one manhwa for 11 years, man, that is mad respect. And yeah, it definitely deserved to get animated. Secondly, there was already a Korean animation of Noblesse, and I watched a bit of it, and it was enjoyable actually. But I definitely think that an anime studio has multiple ways to sort of make it more fluid and better. But it's interesting that it was already so popular in Korea that they made an original Korean animation out of it called Noblesse Awakening, I believe. But I guess they just wanted to release it worldwide to the US and everyone else in the form of an anime also. So, and lastly, because I don't want this video to be that long, basically what I think will happen with the anime adaptation and whether I think it'll be better than God of High School. I don't know what studio is going to be animating Noblesse, but if they had a very good studio that can animate the action scenes well, I think it has the chance to be very hype. But I feel like since the style of combat is not really the hand-to-hand sort of martial arts type thing that's going on in God of High School, it may not be as special looking to anime watchers. But I think what could happen if they animated the comedic parts right of Noblesse, it can end up being a lot funnier than God of High School. So in the action sense, while I think it might not be as good as God of High School, there's a lot of other ways for it to be better. Lots of watchers might feel that Noblesse has better character development than God of High School. But once Noblesse comes out, you guys can decide that for yourselves. So yeah, that's most of the things I know about Noblesse as a manhwa reader. and I'm pretty excited to see the anime adaptation for it. Again, it was a really funny read, really unexpected, and not as edgy as I presumed it to be just looking at the cover of it. And I highly encourage you to go ahead and check it out if you can. But I think Noblesse definitely has a shot at carrying on the hype once God of High School starts wrapping up. I'm really excited to see how the third Webtoon anime adaptation this year is going to go. Let me know if you guys have read Noblesse, what you think about the Webtoon anime based on what I said, and other thoughts you have about future Webtoon animes. Thanks for watching as always, and there's going to be more videos coming soon. Peace.